Do you ever feel like you cannot do something you were able to do before, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, before ChatGPT even became prevalent? Do you have a hard time starting something new without asking artificial intelligence to make a structure for it? Do you rely on artificial intelligence to write your college essays or maybe even simple emails or messages? That is the case with me. No, I am not using artificial intelligence to write me simple messages or emails like some people are doing these days. But in my case, whenever I come across a roadblock in my path, instead of brainstorming or instead of even using my brain to think of a solution, I would resort to going to ChatGPT, Claude, or maybe Gemini and ask them how to move forward with a problem, or maybe give me a structure as to how I can address a certain problem. And the issue with this is that I am not putting any energy or any effort or any amount of creativity to even think what I should be doing. I am not thinking outside of the box either. And this is hampering my creativity, this is hampering my thought process. On top of that, wherever we go, AI is being shoved down our throats in the name of productivity. Artificial intelligence is just a tool. It is yet another technological advancement which brings its own benefits. But if not utilized correctly, it will impact how we behave or how we function many years down the line. I mean, look at the example of social media. What started with just sending a friend request or a follow request on social media ended up being all about short form content, brands regurgitating the same AI slop of advertisement, and making sure that you stay on the app with doom scrolling and brain rot and never leave it. So, in a similar way, when you start relying on AI for your daily activities or trivial tasks, what really happens is that your brain gets reliant on the tool so much that it starts offloading information. It starts forgetting the function that it was using earlier to do the same task. In a way, you can say your cognitive ability starts declining. And obviously, there have been a lot of instances where uh, we have actually gone through a similar situation. So, obviously, for example, there was a time people used to navigate without GPS, and now people have a bad sense of direction because they cannot go anywhere without GPS. And there is also an example that people used to remember phone numbers before mobile phones started storing phone numbers. People used to remember their friends, their relatives, their plumber's phone number. They used to remember it all. But obviously, we have forgotten that aspect of it, because why do we even need to when we have a phone to do that for us? And obviously, some of it, when you look back, you're like, okay, do we really need it? Like, what is the point? We have come so far in terms of technology. But if we keep moving forward, like for example, the fact that people are using AI to write simple emails or messages, do you realize the decline in communication skills that will happen in a lot of people? People are becoming illiterate because they do not even know how to write anymore because they rely on AI so much. Forget about writing, people cannot even read these days. There have been instances where people have confessed that they cannot read a long form of document, and they put it on ChatGPT to summarize the important information in that document. And not just that, there are people on Book Talk who say that they just skip portions of the book and only read dialogues. It makes me wonder how the media literacy is going to move forward in next Forget about next decade. I'm wondering how things will go 2 years down the line. I know people who support AI and the ones who support technological advancement. These people will come up and tell me that, like, do you want us to remember phone numbers? Do you want us to navigate the streets with a map like a medieval peasant? Do you want us to go back to the times when we used to make fire with stones? I am pretty sure, like, you use calculator on your phone. You cannot live without it. That is the point. That is the point, that I do use calculator a lot, even for small calculations, because I cannot trust my calculation. I have become reliant on calculators. While on the other hand, I have seen people who are so quick when it comes to calculations, and not just calculations. These same people, I admire these people a lot. So these people, they are quick with calculations, they are quick with solving puzzles. In general, they have a very quick brain which can come up with a solution. And that is what I want to achieve. That is the one that I want to retain. I do not want to become slow because I am reliant on something. So, in that same sense, I am protesting against AI to take control of my brain and to be quick with my thinking. I do not want to become somebody whose media literacy is down the drain. I want to be able to use my cognitive abilities. I want to be able to think critically, which is the reason why I'm trying to do things with as minimal help as possible. Number one, idea generation. So, when it comes to idea generation, I like to look around me. I like to see my own surroundings, and I find a lot of interesting topics that have been discussed by my favorite YouTubers, by my favorite Instagram influencers. Some topics have been talked in Substack articles, and I also get a lot of ideas from literary works. So the more I look around me, the more ideas pop up in my head. And some of these ideas may not be the most profound or the most unique, but these are some topics that I would love to talk about. So what I do is I go to my OneNote. I have a separate notebook which is specifically used for brainstorming and ideas. And whenever any sort of idea pops up, I create a separate page for it. I also use Obsidian. I like to use Obsidian to map out different topics and how they connect with each other. Number two, research. When it comes to research, I definitely try my best to not use AI at all, because obviously there have been a lot of cases where people reported that the Google's AI overview, or chat gpt and whatnot, they have been reported to be hallucinating. They would scrape misinformation from Reddit forums or maybe LinkedIn, and they would present it as a legitimate source or a legitimate information. And that is not the right way, and that is definitely not how a search engine should work. So obviously I do not use Google these days. There was a time when you could turn off the AI overview, or maybe there were some hacks to disable AI overview from working, but I don't think it works anymore. I've tried, it doesn't. So what I did was I switched to DuckDuckGo. I switched to other search engines which have the ability to, not show AI summary, and you are free to do your own scavenger hunting so that you can find different articles on your own. And I would say that it has come to a point that even Wikipedia has a better source of information as compared to AI. You would be better off to look up Wikipedia pages as compared to using AI. Obviously, don't use just Wikipedia. I will stick to that. Number three, script writing. Coming to the script writing, based on whatever I have researched in the previous step, I jot down the major talking points in the dedicated page in my OneNote. And after that, I make a speech which covers all those points. The issue with that is I am very, very new to this, and I still do not know how to make a structured script or a structured video that keeps the viewer engaged and hooked to the video. But I believe that I will eventually learn. So I try to take inspiration from other YouTubers. I try to make things even more fast in my videos. I try to keep it a bit shorter, and I believe that once I get a hang of it, I will definitely learn. But I will definitely not use AI for this. I'll use my creativity and I will use my skills so that I can develop myself. Number 4, video editing and designing. Video editing and designing might be the one thing where I do not think I can 100% remove AI. The reason being, when I am editing the videos, I have to reduce the noise, I have to remove any sort of noise in my video. And CapCut has the feature where you click noise reduction, and it reduces the noise significantly. Same with any sort of sound editing, it does the thing with a little bit of artificial intelligence. Then when it comes to making my thumbnails, maybe designing something, you would see that in a lot of my thumbnails, I do not have a background. I am being highlighted. So for that, I have to select the subject. So it does involve a little bit of AI to spot the subject in the photo and to be able to edit it. I am just saying this because I cannot. It is not right for me to claim that I am 100% going against AI when these little features are available. So these are the only things that might use a tiny bit of AI. But when it comes to in general designing my thumbnail, or doing anything that needs a design work, I do not put a prompt and ask ChatGPT or Gemini to make something for me. I design the thumbnails on my own, try to see how I can add elements to the background, how to reduce the noise of the background so that the other elements show up better. So that's one thing that I try to do my best. Number 5, planning. Planning is also one thing which I do on my own, be it meal planning, be it looking up recipes, or maybe making my own schedule, seeing what I want to do from Monday to Friday and what I want to do on Saturday, Sunday. Another aspect to it, if I do not write it down and I do not tell myself that I'm writing this down, I want to achieve what I'm planning to do, it will never work. Like, just asking ChatGPT to make a routine for me, it has never worked for me. There have been a couple of times when I tried to ask ChatGPT to make a workout routine for me, or maybe make a meal plan for me. It was all useless because the process of making a plan makes me more attached or more motivated to the plan, instead of just using somebody else to make that for you. Number 6, coding. I'm not from the coding background. I do not have any sort of engineering degree, but I did enjoy coding during the COVID times. So what really had happened was, during COVID, you are in lockdown, you do not have anything better to do. And I was going through some courses in Udemy, and there are a lot of cheap courses, and I came across a lot of courses covering front end and back end development. And I just started learning front end development and back end development. I started making websites and whatnot, and it was fun. It was so fun. And I eventually decided that I have some ideas, I want to make some widgets on my own, and based on whatever I learned, I would try to make something. And a lot of times the code would break, and I would be so busy, hacking my brain. Why is it not working? Where is the logic breaking? Where is the code breaking? And once I would solve it, I would feel like a genius. I would get that eureka moment, and just for small little things. And it was fun. I liked the whole process. uh, so obviously now, because of AI, people do a lot of vibe coding, and people are like, we do not need to hack our brain so much. We can just vibe and do the whole process just like that. And okay, maybe to some extent it could make somebody's workflow much easier or much smoother, but for me, I do not want to do that. I started hopping on to Code Wars just for fun, and I would try to solve some challenges on the website. I would try to do something on my own. I needed a refresher. I went back to the documentations, going through the different functions, different features, different libraries and whatnot, and I would try to solve the exercises on my own. And I never used AI for Code War. I am so stubborn that I would still not reveal the answer in the Code War page. I would rather go to Stack Overflow, maybe see, what other people are talking about. I like the sense of community, right? So sometimes I'll go there. Maybe sometimes I'll go to the documentation, looking through different features, seeing which fits the solution. It is so fun. Uh, you feel so engaged. You feel like you're solving a puzzle. I mean, imagine somebody is giving you a Sudoku to solve, and instead of using your brain, you tell the AI to solve it for you. Like, it's not fun, right? You're not doing anything, it's not challenging. So, I like that challenge. So, obviously, I'll treat these coding exercises as puzzles. I'm not getting too much into coding, I'm not any sort of software engineer. So I am just planning to do it sometimes for fun. Number 7, drawing. And you will never see me use artificial intelligence for that. I believe that the connection of an artist with the process of making an artwork is very sacred, it is very meaningful, sometimes even spiritual. So if you literally dumb down the whole process and make it just a sloppy, uh, using a prompt to make an artwork, you are just making it redundant. And which is the reason why I do not use AI for anything. Like, even if I have to find any reference and I'm not being able to find the reference, I would rather pose in front of the camera on my own rather than generating an AI slop of a reference. So that's my principle. I'll stick to that. So I conclude my video, and these were the few things that I have planned to do with as minimal use of artificial intelligence as possible to make sure that my brain is engaged. I have made other videos which might relate to this topic. So, for example, I made a video on why we should create more than we consume. And I also made a video on Victor Frankenstein syndrome that a lot of these tech CEOs might have. So, if you are interested in those topics, you might hop into any of those, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.